Hey guys, how's it going? So in this video, I'll be talking about how to handle stalls, objections, and big objections on cold calls. All right. So I'll just get straight into it. So if you're cold calling, you probably get told, not interested, don't have the time, call me later, call me 3 months, 6 months from now, send me an email, right? The framework that I like to use is acknowledge and ask question from script, okay? To keep the conversation flowing. So for example, if someone tells me I'm not interested, Aaron. Of course you're not, because if you were, you would have called me. So just to be sure I'm not wasting your time, and then I go back and ask a question for my script, right? Or another not interested objection I like to use is, I'm not interested, Aaron. Of course you're not. You don't have enough information to be interested. The fact is you don't know me and I don't know you. So why would you be interested? So to be sure I'm not wasting your time, right? And there we go. If they still tell me they're not interested, I have over 8 ways to handle this objection, right? They tell me they're not interested again. You're right. I wouldn't be interested either if that's all I heard as well, right? And then I ask a question right back into my script, right? The reason why this works so well is because number one, I'm acknowledging it, right? So I'm not ignoring it. Number two, I'm asking a question from the script, so I'm getting back into the flow of things, right? Keeping that conversation flowing. Now, the second stall, right? I don't have the time. Hey, Aaron, look, I just don't have the time, man. Call me back later. Okay, when's a better time to call you back, right? I'm acknowledging it. Call me back, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Got it. And wouldn't you want to know what I'm going to be calling you back about tomorrow, just so you're prepared, right? So I acknowledge and then I ask the question from the script, okay? Someone says, send me an email, right? Well, I like to say, done. You got it. I'll make a note of that. And what would you like me to put in the email in order for you to be interested and book an appointment with me, right? Acknowledge, ask question from scripts. Just send me whatever you have to offer. Got it. Well, listen, John. I can send you over 1,000 different products, but what is it specifically that you're looking for? What problem are you looking to solve right now within your business? Right? Would it be time? Would it be following up? Would it be closing more deals? Would it be managing your salespeople? Right? I'm basically listing out all the things that he could potentially have problems with. So I'm basically just throwing a bait and seeing which one he's gonna bite. Right? So that's how to handle stalls on cold calls. Now, if a prospect says something you don't understand, use this framework, right? So, for example, if a prospect says, I just don't think it's going to work," or "It's just too risky," right? What I like to use is this three-step framework: clarify, discuss, diffuse. It's by Jeremy Minor. All right. Yeah, Aaron, I just don't think it's going to work. You don't think it's going to work? What do you mean by when you say you don't think it's going to work, right? And then now I'm clarifying, right? Well, I just tried companies like you before and it just never works out, or I got burned before. Ah, okay. Well, tell me a little bit more about the companies you work with. What exactly happened, right? Now I'm discussing, right? Well, the leads that I worked with were just terrible. I mean, the leads were just crap. Can you unwrap that for me? What do you mean by the leads were terrible? Why they were crap? Well, they were just cold leads and, they're fake leads and they never picked up the phone and all this extra nonsense. Ah, okay, I see. And were you the ones calling those leads or were they calling them for you? No, I was calling them. Oh, okay, I see. Now I figured out a gap, right? I figured out that number one, he was getting cold leads, right? And number two, he was calling them himself. If I'm speaking to a real estate agent, because I sold in the real estate marketing agency space for a little bit. So now I know that I can present my solution to him in a way that is the exact opposite of that and say, hey, listen, we screen our leads, right? We basically screen our leads before you speak with them. They're warm, this, and that, right? So now I'm diffusing the objection, and then now I'm able to book the appointment or go and ask the next question in my script. All right. This works really well. I'm telling you it does. The only way it doesn't work is if you're not asking it in the right way or the right tone. Because once again, sales is all about communication. It's 93%, if you're cold calling, 93% tone and voice, 7% of the words that you're actually saying. So you need to make sure that you're saying this in the right way, because if you're not, it's not going to work out at all. All right. Now the next one, how to handle the big objection on cold calls, right? So let's say you drop the price on them on a cold call and they say it's just too expensive, right? Okay. I like to use this is my favorite framework. Listen. So, okay, got it. Tell me everything, John. Tell me everything. Well, yeah, it's just too expensive, man. It's just I don't have the budget right now. Got it. And listen, man, I'm with you. It is too expensive. I can see that, right? It is a little bit expensive. Now, other than the price, other than it being too expensive, is there any other reason, any other concern that's concerning you right now at this current moment? Am I isolating? No, that's just it. Got it. Now I'm gonna validate, right? Okay, well, the fact that you don't think it's too expensive, that wouldn't keep you from moving forward though, would it? Right? I'm validating to make sure, is that a real objection or is that just a complaint that he's having? Right? Now he's going to either say yes or no. If he says no, well, then he's going to move forward and I book the appointment. Or I could close him right there on the call. But if he says yes, it is going to keep me from moving forward, well, then now I got to probe, right? I got to go into the next step. So I got to say, okay, well, when you say it's too expensive, like, what exactly do you mean by that? Right? Well, it's just out of budget, and we were planning on you spending only, I don't know, 3K instead of 6K, right? Now I know, right? Now I can discuss it with them and say, okay, well, how did you arrive at that point, right? Or that price? You know what I mean? And then now I can discuss it with whatever problems you got going on. And then on the cold call, I would book the appointment, not necessarily close, unless if your niche, your industry requires you to close on the cold call. Okay. So these are basically three frameworks that I use on cold calls to handle stalls, like tiny objections, like I don't think this is going to work, and then big objections on cold calls. All right. So if this video was helpful for you guys, go ahead and drop a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe, and I will be dropping a lot more bangers soon. Peace.